for saying something behind his back and punched him in the nose. Joining me from London is writer, broadcaster and commentator
The story arrives like a whisper that refuses to fade. A book filled with explosive claims, one of them alleging that a confrontation between Harry and Prince Andrew ended with a bloody nose. Both men deny it. Does a denial make it false? Not necessarily.
In this devastating book, which included claims that Harry left Prince Andrew with a broken nose, a bloody nose at least, after a fight.
And in it he claims that Prince Andrew told Harry his marriage to Meghan Markle would not last more than a month, and Markle was just an opportunist and he should have checked that background better. It's great to see you again. Harry and Andrew have both denied the story. Does that mean it's untrue?
It doesn't mean that it's untrue, but it doesn't also necessarily mean that it's true. We really don't know what to believe. I mean, we often rely on...
She wasn't clueless. She was strategic, and the receipts prove it.
And most likely, the situation would have totally blown over. It's completely and utterly ridiculous, actually, I think, from a PR perspective, to even respond to this very short little statement about a fight.
Rumor make it true? Also no. We are stranded in the gray space where power, family, and public image collide, and the only certainty is how quickly a fleeting line in a book can hijack the conversation. From a PR standpoint, it might even be foolish to answer a claim so small.
He did try to walk back the racism allegations in his interview with ITV, Tom Bradby, I believe it was. He tried to kind of walk them back and go, oh, no.
Yet here we are, parsing every syllable, hunting for motive, measuring silence. What if the biggest secrets aren't hidden? What if they sit in the open, disguised as coincidence, masquerading as charm? Meghan Markle's ascent has often been told as a fairy tale.
Prince Andrew and Prince Harry are two of the most popular members of the royal family, and I will not be surprised if some of the claims made by Prince Andrew about his suspicions regarding Meghan Markle turned out to be...
An actress with grit and grace catches a prince's eye. But the closer you trace the prelude, the parties, the guest lists, the travel, the timing, the more the edges sharpen. The early years don't feel naive or accidental. They feel deliberate.
The court is not going to change the court of public opinion when it comes to Harry, and his reputation is still in tatters right now.
You begin to notice a rhythm. Where she went, who she met, what rooms she entered, and how softly she left them. Visible enough to be remembered, quiet enough to avoid scrutiny. Before the royal titles and palace briefings, there was a young woman testing the boundaries of access. A British journalist remembered someone more calculating than carefree, a woman who rarely led with Hollywood dreams.
Biographers and many royal journalists have actually confirmed. So we do know that there was a sense within the royal family, at least consistently from William to the King to, I suspect now, Prince Andrew, that they were...
And instead lingered on the messy particulars of relationships, social currents, and names that mattered. Mention a footballer with a tabloid-famous love life and watch the sudden alertness. This wasn't starstruck chatter, it was reconnaissance. Not wide-eyed marveling at fame, but the cool study of influence. Who has it, how it moves, where it gathers after the cameras blink off.
Family held a summit about Andrew at which it was agreed there was no way back for him because of the reputational damage he was causing the monarchy and his ungracious and ungrateful attitude. Andrew's relationship with his nephews.
Layer onto that a family dynamic already primed for suspicion. Inside the royal orbit, doubts over timing and temperament often travel faster than facts. Claims that Andrew questioned the viability of Harry's relationship, that barbed comments were made, that tempers flared. None of it is settled, all of it plausible. You can almost see the fuse burn, a remark repeated, a face-to-face challenge.
We haven't had an official denial from Prince Andrew. I guess all I would say, and obviously I hope to quiz Andrew Lowney about
the sudden thud of real anger in a world that usually prefers controlled detonations. If it happened, it fits a pattern of frayed loyalties and old grievances. If it didn't, it still tells us what people are willing to believe about these men and the way they crash into each other under pressure. Move back a few steps and a different map appears. The college years gloss, study abroad here, internship there, doesn't fully account for a more elusive itinerary. Spain without a tidy program, Thailand without the usual postcards of classmates and dorms, The Mediterranean dotted with yachts, charity galas, and guest lists that read like rumor. The names attached to those circles are the kind that open doors many never even see. Perhaps she was simply traveling. Perhaps she was learning something far more valuable than lines for a script: how to be present without being recorded, how to enter a room through the service corridor, how to leave with only a hint of perfume in the air. Then there are moments that feel like splinters. A trip to Hong Kong when the TV role wasn't yet big enough to justify that level of red carpet warmth. A clip that once existed, hazy talk of royals nearby, seemingly gone now, melted into the digital ether. Nothing conclusive, nothing definitive. Just a pattern of proximity.